Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. So, got some work done on Saturday. Got another bit of the station done, as well as got the blueprint updated and ready for the next bit of work. Did I reattach everything? I bet I didn't. I did not. That's okay. I will just turn that back on. Merged and switch lock. Because I'm still using the facilities on the station core for the station core. So anyway, last week got a large chunk of this knocked out, and then on Saturday I did a short stream because I was testing something pretty cool, which is finally got my video card upgrade. So I upgraded from a 1070 to a 4060, and it's running pretty sweet. In fact, hopefully we should be pretty rock solid and stable here. Like I'm sitting at 120 FPS, pretty much consistent. So overall, should have slightly better viewing experience. That aside, let's drop some of those, get some of that, and some of that. All right. So basically what I need to do is just get these two sort of wings attached. Hey, what's up, Hollows? And really, this part's the easy part. Just get these here welded up. Well, not so much welded as just sort of tacked in place. Then I can come back through and properly weld it up. And there we go. Hey, what's up, Alfarius? And the weekend was actually really good. So, funnily enough, this is great. So on Friday, we did that really long stream. Long for me. Did the stream. And then just after, I was doing my little wind down routine, checking out YouTube, Gmail, that sort of thing, when the doorbell rang. That wasn't at all surprising because my brother had threatened to come on over. What was surprising, however, glad to hear it. What was surprising, oh yeah, can't add that if I don't have that, was so I go upstairs after I hear the doorbell, and I answer the door. And of course, he's standing there. And then I look in his hands. And he's got this green and gray box with him that says NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060. I was like, holy shit. On his way over, he had stopped at Best Buy and had picked it up. And I was like, well, damn. Awesome. So now, I've got a new video card. And I have spent the weekend downloading, playing, and then uninstalling a bunch of games. But yeah, it's been a good weekend. I need to get these taken care of. I also, and this is the frustrating part, is I reinstalled Star Citizen to see, how well the new video card would handle it. And the game is just in such a terrible state that my 1070 was actually running it better than the 4060. And I'm like, how is that even possible? How is it possible that you screw up so bad that an older video card is better than a newer one? How is that a thing? Okay, that's frustrating. There is something that keeps stealing my damn mouse cursor. I've had this happen before, and I don't remember how I fixed it. I've got a bunch of... It turned off a bunch of things. What are you? EOS overlay renderer. That's Unreal. EOS overlay renderer. Let's find out what you are. Oh, okay. That's from the Epic Games Store. you hussy, quit stealing my mouse cursor. There we go. See what else. But otherwise, yeah, it's been a good weekend. Was played some WoW, played a lot of games, honestly. I was kind of all over the place. There we go. Oh, I guess they were just taking Friday off. All right, let's get that in place. Put out. That's possible. I know I get that way with my neighbors. Like my direct next door neighbor has a lawn care landscaping kind of business. And so periodically at like 6:30 to 7 in the morning, we'll hear them getting started up. And it's like, really? This early? People are still trying to sleep here, bastards. I mean, I'm not, because I'm usually awake at random hours, but still. Whoops, no. You guys need to go in a different direction. And then we get this here. That's possible. Realizing that it's the lesser of two evils. Okay, and then I need you, except that way. And then there. There. Yay! And then her hell will be finished. Or so she thinks. And yeah, we'll put you there for now. Oh, what did space engineers do to you? Okay, that takes care of all of this, it looks like. Yes. Awesome. All right, let's start getting this crap welded up. Yeah, and that's probably not a bad idea. Oh, yeah, yeah, fair enough. It is always annoying when the enemy is actually being a little bit too good. It's like, you bastards, I'm trying to do this here. And, okay. Am I out of steel plate? Really? No. So why are we not in the mood for welding? There we go. Yeah, you gotta watch out for that. I don't know. Why don't you ask Alfarius? He's right there. I haven't exactly carded everybody that comes into my stream. Alfarius, how fucking old are you? There it goes again. God damn it, that is frustrating as all hell. Um, I really need to figure out what that. And it's funny too, because it started happening after I installed the new video card. Yay! And that's fair. Sometimes they do. And production, I'm going to need more of that. That, and more of that. Slut. Yes. Yeah. And that's just it too, is that's why I don't necessarily always like having the enemy AI on all the time and why I don't antagonize them. Because sometimes I'm just trying to get stuff done. And they're all like, nah. This we do not abide. Okay. And once we get this done, and actually with the blueprint and all that, this is actually going way faster than it would have otherwise. Pretty much. You do have to worry about that. Oh, in space. There we go. Oh, one of the other things that I did over the weekend was installed or reinstalled Cyberpunk 2077. Which really, I'm so glad that they stuck with it and actually fixed a lot of it. Because it is a good game. Especially when you add mods to it. So many mods. Although it's still frustrating to a certain degree that it doesn't have a native third-person view. It's like, well, then what's the point of the close? It doesn't matter unless you're in photo mode. So why bother? But, you know, people are going to people. And I'm still going to add big booby slutty mods because that's just what I do. Go. All right. Let's get... let's go ahead and get the oxygen generators going. I guess oxygen farms. I will say, though, that it's fun to get back into Cyberpunk now that I actually have a video card that can handle it better. Like, I could play it fairly well before, but now I actually can play it better and with a lot of really nice options turned on and all that. Get the ray tracing going and all that. Just in general, have a better experience. But going back through and playing a lot of older games, one of the things that I'm noticing is that oh, that's the other thing is can't say I've ever been like I used to enjoy playing The Sims. Like The Sims 1 and The Sims 2 were a lot of fun. 3 was okay. I tried playing 4, but I just can't get into it. And I think part of the problem is that with each iteration of The Sims, they kept taking stuff out of the base game and then parceling that off to DLC that was like way too expensive. I'm sorry, but I don't want to spend $4,000 just so that I can get the same game that I had with The Sims 1. Just not going to play that. Okay, why do I not have computers? Iron. Of course it's going to be iron that's the issue. There it goes again. That is super irritating. Focus. How to focus assist. Let's see. Nope, that's all off. All right. No, okay, so what happens is that it's not just the cursor. It's literally I lose focus from like when you alt tab, that's what's happening, but I'm not alt tabbing. Some app that I'm running or is running in the background is just randomly stealing focus from what I'm doing. And again, like I said, it happened after I installed the new drivers for the video card is when this started happening. And I don't know how I fixed it last time. It just stopped happening. And I don't know if it's like a virus thing and I'm going to have to do another clean sweep. Yes. But something just keeps stealing it. The other potential issue that I could be having is that when I've already tried Task Manager, and I do have a tool, a utility that I downloaded. Let's see if I can find it. That will watch what is active to see what steals focus. Window focus. There we go. Okay, let's try this. And run this for like 15 minutes. Okay. Skintar is almost always lurking, but he's also usually working. At least he should be. But yeah, we're gonna see if this app comes up. Yeah, depends on the day, depends on what's going on. But let's grab some more iron, and let's also figure out what the hell this is. My app. Because the other problem that I wound up having, which was weird, is that after I did the video card update, I started having issues with my keyboard and mouse software. Kind of. Landry's schedule is kind of all over the place. Like, she sometimes has a regular day off, but generally it's kind of wherever. And then Kintar is mostly consistent. It just kind of depends. Let's go up here. Yes, we lament this fact as well. All right. Wait for that to take everything out. Now, the other thing that might be happening that's stealing the focus is also I had to reinstall, like I did a full uninstall and cleanup and then reinstall of the NVIDIA software. That might be doing it too. There may be some option within the NVIDIA toolset that keeps stealing the focus. Now, let's just go ahead and do a fairly large or sizable mining op here for that's one thing I do miss about playing EVE Online, were the large mining ops when you'd get a whole bunch of guys together, listen to some music, get drunk, get high, whatever, and just generally shoot the shit, clear out asteroid belts. That was always a lot of fun. Nah, it should be fine. It's like James and the Giant Peach. And We just mosey on over. Probably do like another 2 or 3 loads of iron, because I am going to need quite a bit. And wait for the base to steal all of this. There it all goes. There we are. This is actually quite a large deposit of iron. What are you talking about? Oh, James. Okay, gotcha. There it goes. But nothing popped up. Weird. Okay. Let's check what. Oh. Yeah, no, that's true. That would tend to suck. Now, if I'm using a controller, it's not too bad. Okay, so apparently there are some games where using the controller is a lot more interesting, or better overall. Okay, let's turn on the overlay for a second, then turn it back off, and we'll see if that fixes it. Because I know, for instance, when I'm driving in like GTA, I use the controller. Yeah, exactly. I will say that when playing Death Stranding, the controller feels really good because each trigger controls what side of your pack that you're grabbing. So that way, you know, as you're walking and whatnot, you can grab a specific strap to steady yourself. And just in general, it feels pretty good to play on controller. I think there's like 1 or 2 other games that I prefer to play with controller. But generally speaking, mouse and keyboard just feels better. So it really kind of depends on the game. All right. I think this should be pretty good. Wait for this to empty, and then I'm actually going to bring this around up front again so that I have an easier way of refilling and recharging. I'm trying to think of any other games that I have that are actually better with controller. I can't really think of any because, you know, like most of the games I have, Oh wow, yeah. I I love the Xbox controller, specifically the Xbox One controller, because it feels so damn good to use. It reminds me a lot of the Dreamcast controller, which was a really good controller as well. And then I've also got my flight stick. But as far as like the PlayStation controller, I've never liked the PlayStation controller. There's just something about it that doesn't feel comfortable for my hand. And it's probably because I have such large hands that the controller just feels wrong. Whereas the Xbox One feels really good. Like it has just a nice overall feel to it, as opposed to the PlayStation ones. And then there's the Steam controller, which feels weird, but not in a bad way. It's just in an odd way. All right, let's finish getting this stuff welded up. Then I still have... Yep. And they really are just... They're a good choice. They've gotten better, though. Because I remember the original Xbox controllers were massive beasts. And people with smaller hands didn't quite like them as much. So the form factor that they've gone with now, sort of, it really is. It's just... I'm still working on the station core. I'm working on the wings for it. Sort of. Because I have to keep stopping to get more stuff to build with. Yes. Wait, no. How is that slacking if I'm doing more work? Shut the fuck up, Kintar. Ha. I'm sorry. I love my brother, but I don't trust him around this stuff. No, no, I won't. I know what he's capable of when he's not trying. They're so true. So true. There's that. Thought I got that one. Apparently I did not. Clang is just what we refer to as the accidental or sometimes purposeful explosions that happen in this game. Yeah, there you go. There we are. Excellent. And then you just got to get the thrusters. And then we'll be done. Excellent. That's that side. That's connected. Yeah, basically. So. All right, calm down, Hollows. Jesus. That's true. You do have to watch out for that sometimes. sometimes Clang is like, by the way, I'm just going to eradicate half of that planet. All right. And I just need that. There we are. Excellent. Now we do these. Tell you what, I'm really looking forward to Space Engineers 2. Really, really looking forward to how interesting construction is going to be, because it looks like currently they are looking to actually deepen the level of complexity by a little bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit for construction purposes. And that actually makes me kind of happy. Because I'm hoping what'll happen is that there will be a much more gradual transition from the start of the game to what we would classify as sort of the middle of your playthrough. And the middle was basically be you getting everything up until getting into space. Fuck English. English is it's a painful language. But what I am looking forward to is the potential for an additional layer of complication that simply adds a little bit more time to the timeline of play. Because this would technically be considered endgame for me at this point. I have access to everything. I have a mining ship. I have a hauling ship. I have a base in space. I can go anywhere and I can do anything. So, at this point, it's one of those that it really is just... There we go. Best to... I don't know why I keep going down there. There we are. But I can, so if they can extend that timeline between when you first land, or however they wind up working it, to when you reach your end game, that'll be even better. And especially if it requires that you do go to other planets to get additional resources or blueprints or components for blueprints, that sort of thing. And really kind of separate out where you have to go in order to progress. Always give you the basics to get the initial stuff done. But then anything more advanced, or if you want better parts and stuff like that, it would be awesome to have to go to other planets and do that. All right, let's finish up. Kinda, yeah. Little bit of Astroneer, little bit of Satisfactory, little bit of Factorio. For that, I've got 2 more, so hopefully I've got enough gold and platinum. Gold, platinum, I might need to go grab some more. Oh no, I'll actually have to go out and do something. It's terrible. It's almost worthwhile to see about just connecting the drill to this base and then flying out to the various asteroids, filling up that way. Because, I mean, I've basically got a working ship at this point. So, I mean, might as well. I definitely am going to want to do that with the iceroid, is take this out to the iceroid with the mining ship, with the Nugget, and just mine out a whole bunch of ice to fill up with for hydrogen fuel or refueling ships with, because that's going to be important. Let's get the rest of this done up. And then we just have the other one. And then we get to figure out how we're going to cap it off. I need more bulletproof glass. Awesome. Of course. Not enough room. Oh, and computers. What? Yeah, no, I don't have any. Okay. So let's grab some. One of the other games that I went ahead and reinstalled, actually kind of this morning, was Hydroneer. Speaking of Nier types of games, and that's one of those that it's always been kind of a fun game for me to play on the side. I just like the general gameplay loop of it. I need to at some point in time get the expansion for it, but the base game is more than enough for me. Let's finish this up. In fact, I might play some of that a little bit later today. Just because, again, that is a fun one. And then another one that I wouldn't mind hopping back onto my hard drive is Scrap Mechanic again. See how well that's going to run on my machine. Because with the upgrades, it should actually run fairly well. Large steel tubes. Oh, wow. Finally got an encoding error. I think I fixed my problem. I think it was NVIDIA that was giving me issues. Because I haven't had it steal focus. All right. Awesome. All I had to do was turn it off and back on again. You know what? Bite me. I mean, you're not wrong, but still, bite me. Oh, I was having an issue where it would just, like every so often, it was stealing focus away from whatever I was in. So, like, if I'm trying to move forward in this, or trying to do some sort of movement, it would steal focus while I was doing that. So you'd hear the warning sound that Windows makes, like, can't do that, buddy. Like, the hell you can't. And let's get all these done up. So it looks like what was happening was that the NVIDIA overlay option, for whatever reason, even though it was turned off, was still attempting to do something. So that issue now seems to be resolved. I need more motors, probably. Yep, more motors. But it's really frustrating when you're like trying to do stuff and you keep losing app focus. It's like, damn it, no, I wasn't done using that, you bastard. Get back here. Go. And then one of the other things that I was trying to do is reinstalled Skyrim, and I was trying to use my old mod setup. But it didn't like that because the version of Skyrim is different than what I had installed, blah, blah, blah. And so essentially, like, I could get it running, but it was wonky. And a lot of stuff has gotten updated over the past year or so. So basically what I'm going to have to do is just knock out all of my mods, kind of restart from scratch again. That's the only problem with trying to mod Skyrim. If you're not doing it consistently, like not keeping up with modding it all the time, then you kind of run into a situation where you're a little bit behind the times and you kind of have to just restart from scratch again. Which is not terrible. It's not the first time I've done it. I remember one time a friend from work had given me some of his old Adderall. And so I'd taken a couple, probably one more than I should have. And then I spent the next 24 hours, because I had a couple of days off in a row. But I spent the next 24 hours just uninstalling, reinstalling, remerging, re-verifying, blah, 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 going over, trying to get Skyrim all taken care of and remodded and working without any issues. And this was before I had been introduced to Mod Organizer 2, which is a godsend of a program for modding, which then later led to the creation of the Vortex mod manager at Nexus Mods. Which I haven't used it personally, but I hear it's not too bad. And if I remember correctly, the guy who was originally working on Mod Organizer 2 got hired by Nexus Mods in order to upgrade their Nexus Mod Manager to Vortex. So that's pretty cool. And it's really awesome when that does happen, where they take somebody who's done a really great tool or a great mod or something like that, and somebody hires them to continue making really great tool or really great mod. Did I make the... Yeah, we're good. Okay. There goes... Oh, and I do need to change... you. Okay. So that should be everything on that side. All those thrusters are now set up correctly. All those should be working just fine. Everybody should be happy. We have all of our lights. And it's actually looking pretty snazzy. Once I get that last piece on, then we just have to come up with what will be essentially the control room. And then a little observation bubble is what I want to go with. Who are you? STPR mining carriage. Who are they? STPR Star Prospectors. Cool. Declare war. All right. Oh, there are a few blocks that I missed. I always miss these back end ones. Alright, that's those. How about on this side? Yep. Need to get these. And that's fine. Cool. Alright, next up. Just need to get this side. And we will finally be done. Well, that. Alright. And we'll just work our way around like we did before. And while this may seem like it's a little bit more tedious, this is actually the easier way of doing it. Because instead of having to place each and every block, I get the luxury of just having to tap long enough to make it real. Basically attach it to what we're doing. And then I get to move on to the next block. Because if I was to basically rebuild this all by hand, it would be a whole lot of moving blocks around, rotating them, making sure they're in the correct orientation. Pain, pain, pain. But this way, much faster. And just about welding them all up, which that's pretty easy. Here we go. All right, so I mentioned this previously last week about my thoughts towards starting a multiplayer server. I'm still not entirely sure yet what I want to do as far as the actual setup for the server, because there are a lot of different ways that I could set it up. I could set it up so that it's like me and maybe a couple of other people come together and build a base, try and accomplish a particular task. I could set it up to be kind of a free-for-all thing so that a bunch of people are trying to, just hang out, coexist, get stuff built, that sort of thing. There we go. There's lots of different options when it comes to setting it up. And especially for the purposes of streaming. And therein also lies kind of the thing that is always worrisome, is a streamer sets something up and you get some asshat who's like, well, this is a streamer, I need to make them suffer in some way, shape, or form. The usual sort of troll and griefer. Which is always frustrating. I've never understood that mentality. That's different, your family. Plus, I know where you live. Mostly. I'll just get Landry to drive me over there. But the other part of me, it's like, if I set up the server, there's a couple of different things that I want to make sure of. First of all, obviously, it's something that I can keep coming back to and working on over a period of time. So that, if I'm away from it for, like a couple of hours or for a day, that when I come back, I don't wind up having like everything eradicated. So that's kind of one of my concerns, which also just comes down to administration and setup. Go. And you and you. And I believe, oh, there's still a few pieces left. But I think that is about everything. Let's check down here. All those are ready. Those are ready. Awesome. All right, so we can turn off the projector here. Let's go recharge, refuel. And let's get this welded up. And then the last big component, and it will probably require that I go out and get more gold and platinum again, is the jump drive itself, which is going to fit underneath in between the large ion thrusters that we have down at the bottom there. And then I just have to cap that off and it will be ready to go. We'll be able to kind of move it out of the way. And then as far as getting the ships attached to it, what I could potentially do, I know with Nugget, I can go ahead and just lock it in on one of the side connectors. The carrier is going to be a little bit different. And what I might have to do is go ahead and use its mag locks and attach it to the side that way. So that when I move it and jump it out to a location, then I won't have any issues. I don't have any mag plates on it right now. Okay, so I'll have to fix that. Not a problem. In fact, I could probably just put like a landing gear or two on there so that it can lock on. And then that way I can carry the carrier and the Nugget with me. Although what I'll do is once I get this welded up and we get it finished, I'll do a test flight and we'll see how well it maneuvers. Because it could be a situation where I actually go ahead and just attach the Nugget to one of the connectors and then fly it out to specific asteroids for the time being to gather the resources that I need. Yeah. And then once that gets done and I get it moved out of the way, I'll be able to put the Comet's Run back in its rightful place, which is over here. And we'll be able to basically get everything in order. Because the Comet's Run is going to stay here at the outpost. That's basically its job. All right, let me get a bunch of steel plate. We'll get the armor done first. Once the armor's done, then we'll go ahead and move on to the rest of the stuff that needs to be welded up. Go. Wait a minute. There's something missing, and I just realized it. There they are. There's that. Side, yeah, that side's okay. Good way to test to see what needs to be fixed or not. Okay. And man, this week weather-wise is going to be interesting. Oh, I was just making sure that I had everything ready to weld up. I was missing a couple of pieces, not a big deal. But weather-wise, like last week, we had a whole bunch of rain. Wow. We had a whole bunch of rain come through. Feels like I'm having a stroke just for a lot of years. But we had gotten kind of warmish. And then coming up this week, we're supposed to dip back down into winter temperatures. Yeah, we got too much rain. But we're supposed to dip down into freezing temperatures. And then by Wednesday, get more snow. What was interesting, though, is what was it, yesterday? We were actually under a high wind advisory, which was pretty funny. It was Saturday night into Sunday is when we were supposed to get all the high wind, which we got a lot of wind. It was definitely windy, but it didn't do anything major. Like none of the power got knocked out or anything like that. Although they did warn that that could happen. They're like, high wind advisory, you could lose power. Well, we didn't. So either you guys suck or you're really good at your job. Hard to tell. And God, I can't breathe at the moment. All right, give me just a second. I'm going to take a quick AFK. I need some drugs of the legal over-the-counter kind. I'll be back in just a few. All right, there we go. That should be better. All right. Okay. And hopefully that'll kick in soon enough. Hopefully. Will be. At some point. You gotta wait for it all to kick in, but other than that. Alright. Now we can finish getting this other crap welded up. Awesome. So let's empty out and then start working our way around. We'll do this stuff and then just work around. I know, right? Well, considering I spent so many years doing it through other means, I do miss smoking cigarettes sometimes. Really, really do. Yeah, let's go ahead and just get those done. And just gotta wait on those. That's one of those problems with getting older. Everything you did when you were younger starts catching up with you. Yeah, it's locked to keep you out. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's the one who's trying to be forceful, but I'm not letting her in right now. I know you're all like, how dare you? Well, I dare, okay? I dare so hard. Let's grab some more. Nice thing is that with all these oxygen farms, yeah, it's not so much the lungs as it's the sinuses, like everything up here. And like with the way that the weather has been for the past month and a half, it has just been wreaking havoc on me. Going from weather front to no weather to weather front to no weather, this back and forth bullshit that's been going on, just been absolutely killing my sinuses. Which then leads to headaches, which then I spend most of the day just like, okay, I don't want to do anything. There we go. Though, on the plus side, last night I made some absolutely amazing burgers. My mom and I were trying to figure out what we were going to have for dinner, and she had gotten the hamburger out the other night, and then we wound up not eating it because instead my brother and sister had gotten pizzas. I know, how dare they? But after that, we had this, it was like pound and a half of hamburger, and last night, I should say Saturday and Sunday, my mom was kind of down for the count because she'd got a vaccine, and so that left her just not quite fully active. Or I should say Saturday she was down. Sunday she was still kind of meh, but she was getting better. So I wound up cooking. And I was like, how about hamburgers? She's like, okay. I just made plain old cheeseburgers, which turned out delicious. I ate it. It was good. Trust me. You would have loved it. Why am I getting like... I know, right? Somehow, some way, I will find the power to get through this terrible tragedy of me eating your hamburger. I will find the strength necessary to soldier on. Don't worry. Oop, there we go. Oh, it's too late. I have already found it within me. The power was in me all along. Yeah, bullshit. There's no way I'm going to wallow in guilt. No way. Even if I died of a heart attack because of that burger, I still wouldn't feel any guilt. I'd be like, worth it. 100%. And let's grab this stuff. Again, worth it. Let's see, how much iron do I have left? About 20,000 more, plus 65,000 more. Okay, cool. I've got a little bit of iron left. And go. And the fun part is going to be figuring out how to get all of this stuff connected on the interior. Which actually shouldn't be too bad now that I'm thinking about it, because I can just run pipes up on either side. So have them come up on this side and on the other side, and then they'll meet in the middle and then come back down, because I can go ahead and remove the projector and actually move it to a different location, or actually just keep it where it is. Actually, I might keep it where it is and put pipes around it. That'll look kind of cool, actually. The other thing I could potentially do is actually run... Let's see, you are... I could do, yeah, that. On that side, and then on the other. And then that would allow me to go ahead and run the pipes into the floor instead. Yes. Then I don't have to worry about running them overhead, and they won't get in the way, and then I can just run stuff out of it. Yes. This could work. All right, let's finish getting this welded first. Then we'll worry about that. Here we go. It was so much fun watching an idiot weld up his station. The retro future. There we are. Oh yeah, you are. Okay, cool. That is beautiful. I love seeing the pipes kind of spidering back in towards the center there. Now here's a question of curiosity, and I don't believe we're going to have an answer anytime soon. But I wonder if they're going to update or upgrade the conveyor system for Space Engineers 2 to use a different type of conveyor system. Or if they're going to keep it basically the same and maybe just give us different conveyor blocks of sorts. That'll be an interesting thing to see how it all plays out. Oh, that's right. And now we just got to grab these. And then I still also need to add vents to the interior at some place as well, because I don't currently have any locations for that. There we go. That's all set. Let's do both of these. Grab what I need. Ah, good stuff. Almost done. Yeah, so yesterday I played a little bit of WoW, and I was doing the Holiday Dungeon, which is ridiculously easy. It uses Shadowfang Keep, which is one of the oldest dungeons in the game. Oh, I did miss a spot there. Okay, add a couple more blocks. Cool. But you go to Shadowfang Keep, and you basically run to, like, pretty much the opening area. And there are 3 bosses that are part of the same boss encounter. And essentially what happens is that you have to take out all 3 of them, usually one after the other. They really are. However, unfortunately, people are dumb. Now, when I ran it on my tank, it was real easy. No problems whatsoever. I ran it on my healer. The tank died once, and one of the DPS died 3 times. Because they kept standing in the damn stuff. So what happens is the bosses will throw these vials that'll hit the ground and explode or shatter. And then there's these areas of color on the ground. Don't stand in that. It's a well-known thing. Don't stand in the fire. Don't stand in the goo. Basically straightforward sort of stuff. And yet, there are still idiots who will stand directly in it and then be like, why am I getting hurt? I don't understand this. Why isn't the healer keeping me from dying? What's going on? And the healer is just going to stand there and look at you like, you're the retard that didn't move. I can only heal so much stupid. And you are hitting my limit. Fortunately, though, nobody complained. Nobody bitched about it. We all got it done. But it really was amazing. But then I went and I was playing my druid, who I went ahead and I boosted her up to 70 when I was having problems with my healer not being geared enough. And then wound up not really playing her, unfortunately. But let's see, I need the T-junction like that. I decided for giggles, what I was going to do is have her running around basically in nothing but her underwear and a pair of gloves. And it's really amusing to me because the concept I have in my head is that she's kind of a hippie. But I also made her Kultiran, so she's kind of on the thick side as well. And it really just amuses me. It's like, just cuz. Oh God. And that's fair. Like, certain people really play certain classes better than others. For me, I have, with the exception of the newest class, the Evoker, I basically played all of the various classes throughout the years, especially the main ones, like, warrior, paladin, priest, mage, warlock, etc., etc. Generally, I have played, like, once the monk came out, that kind of became my favorite for a really long time. That's fine. Like, there are different skill levels to the game, obviously. I don't have. Okay. And so it's one of those, like, not everybody is going to be perfect at the game. And that's true of any game. Not everybody is going to be perfect at a lot of games. I suck at a lot of games. Like shooters, I'm terrible at shooters. I don't know what it is, but I can't aim. Like, it's my reflex. It's that vision to finger reflex that I have a problem with. I know when I should fire, but I have a problem actually doing that. All right, let's get these all cleared out. Need you. And also, there goes that one. This cleared out. And so now I can just put the T-junction in here. There we go. Now we just put in our straights. Now, back when MoP was first released, and I got a chance to play the monk, that was my favorite time to be a monk. And specifically for Mistweaving, which is the healer spec. Because that was when the class fantasy was at its best. But the problem was a lot of Mistweavers just sucked and didn't know how to actually, like, play. And I feel sorry for them because they ruined it for everybody else who knew how to. But what made Mistweavers so much fun is that they were a combat healer that required that not only did you set up heals on the party using your heal over times, but then you would roll into combat, start beating up on mobs, trash or the boss or whatever, and then as you needed to, you would roll back out to do some spot heals to get everybody back up to where they needed to be and then roll back into combat and go back to work. But then you also had the benefit of your Jade statue, which I haven't seen that yet. Now, my Mistweaver is still kind of low level. I need to get her up to higher levels. But that was just part of the basic kit. And it's kind of frustrating that they took it out from the basic kit. And it also, just in general, like, I don't know why they continue to do this, but they continue to reinvent classes every update. Every update. And it's so frustrating. Because you basically have to relearn things all over again. And it's like, just keep it the way that it was. It's okay to kind of tweak a few skills here and there. But considering how often they basically reinvent the wheel, it gets damn tiring. I know some people are like, oh, it's exciting to learn the new specs. It's like, I mean, if you're 12, sure. But for the rest of us. All right. So now we've got, hopefully, actually, you're full, you're full, you're full, of course. All those are going to be full. Let's go ahead. I don't know. I sit here and I bitch a whole lot about stuff. Can't help it. It's who I am. I'm a bitch. Let's see about doing some girders, some that, some those, and you there. And there. Oh no! There we go. And awesome. So that'll take care of making sure that we're OSHA compliant. Not that it matters. It's like, go ahead, get an inspector out here in space. I dare you. Oh, hello, inspector. That's basically how that would go. Like, wow, they are quick and on point. And there we go. And there we go. Excellent. So once I actually get the gravity turned on for the station again, then that should make a lot more sense and be a little bit more reasonable. Now, one of the other things is that currently I don't have any actual defenses for the station. So I think that'll be one thing that I wind up trying to rectify here at some point, is to get some sort of defense system set up. Now, I had thought about trying to put them down here, but unfortunately there's no room there. However, I could see about extending, and more specifically, that's also what the arms are going to wind up being for when I go to attach them, is for the purposes of attaching additional stuff to the station to increase its capacities and capabilities. So, for instance, down here, I could go ahead and build a couple of arms that extend outwards for the purposes of having defensive arms. So putting turrets on them and whatnot. I could do that in all 4 directions if I wanted to. Oh no, suit energy is low. But I think we're about ready. We're getting close to ready to do a test flight, just to make sure that it can maneuver. I think before that, I am going to go ahead and let's see about planning out what the top portion is going to be, while also getting the jump drive ready to be put in, which we are looking at under here. I've already tested it in terms of like making sure that it would fit, and it will. But it's going to be expensive. So let's see about getting what we need. Yeah, that is probably, again, like I said, going to need some more gold and platinum. What I might do is, in order to get it completed, see about just flying this thing out to those asteroids. Which, of course, means detaching it from the base and legitimately flying it out somewhere with the nugget. So that might be what we wind up doing. I just have to go ahead and create a cockpit-like area, control area for this. Out of my way. Oh, nice. Now we're at the power cells. And superconductors. So what we had talked about previously, for the purposes of this and its location, is that there were a couple of possibilities. The first was going to be setting it up into a high orbit around a particular planet. And while I like that idea, I do not like it more than taking it out between 2 planets and letting it sit there as sort of a halfway station. Because I think that will be a much more interesting location for it. And it also takes us away from the security and the safety of planets. So everything we do out there is kind of on our own. You are now out of gold, which is what I thought would happen. Which is okay. Because what we're going to do instead is I need a cockpit. Which one? Nah, we're not going to do that. What we're going to do, let's grab some steel. And let's go ahead and plan out how this is going to look. And what we can do is kind of bow this in. more steel. Not more of the interior plates, more the steel. Then I want these window walls and put them here and there. That way we get some nice, oops, sort of armored. Okay, good. We get nice armored windows that we can sort of look out of. That will then lead us to what we're after. Get that cleaned up. There we go. Yes. Then I need that. No. Yes. Because you go there. There we are. Yes. And there. I'm going to do that on all four walls because of the fact that I want this area here is the transition area between what's underneath here, sort of the industrial portion, and what's going to be up here, which is then going to lead to the command center and control, command and control, CNC. Now, as far as living quarters, I don't really have an idea on that yet. I might go ahead and make that a separate wing. And with that being the case, I'd probably revamp these specifically so that they were... Oh, I might just have to do that now that I'm thinking about it. Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to do that. And I just had an idea. I hate it when that happens. I love it, but I hate it. Because what I'm thinking is I do... something like this. I know, right? Do these here. I think I have... Let's just clear this out. And then I need for what? Oh, wait, I already have that. Okay. I need interior plate. Okay. That almost works. The only reason why it doesn't quite work is because of the corner there for... the corner there for the conveyor junction. So that's going to be a problem. I might be able to work around that, but I don't know yet. If I moved it down, so if I took this out, change this, and then that. Then I could go ahead and change these to, that goes there, 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 and there, with you sticking between them like this. That goes right there. And that still works. Yes. Okay, let's see how this is going to look when I get it all welded up. There we go. Yeah, I can work with that actually. That gives it a little bit extra depth to the walls so they're not big flat white walls. But that also will allow me to do... Where are my doors at? Actually, I can replace you because I already have you on a bar. Door. I need the offset door here. Oh, yes. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. And then from outside, you get this cool sort of indented feature. Which, what I will do here is... Let's do this block here. Whoops, that's not where you go. And that will allow me to hopefully move the merge blocks and the connectors. Maybe I'll have to double check that. And then I can still do... Okay, yeah. So I'm going to have to reorganize... Okay. I need to reorganize all of this. Which... Oh no! Oops. There we go. No, I don't want to put that in yet. Whoops. Again. Whoops. Whoops, 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 whoops. That's correct. But, all right, let's do that, that, and that. There we go. Now, hopefully, that'll still all be airtight when I get it all welded up, which it should be, but you never know. You never know until you actually get it welded. Interior, let's drop those off. Get these knocked out. Awesome. And then I can go ahead, because again, the station core itself is supposed to act as a hub, with the other pieces being able to attach to it and increase its overall capabilities through those attachments. That's what we're going for, the plan. The reality of it will be much different, most likely. But we're at least getting somewhere. There we are. Then I'll be able to work this out. Yes. I am liking the way that this is working. I like the way it looks too. Just, it overall has an interesting sort of feel to it. But it also opens up a lot of room to making rooms if I need to. So if I wanted to, I could say do something like this. Run panels up to like here, for instance. Lots of different options for this middle area. But let's continue. And actually, if I really wanted to do that, I would replace one of these blocks so that I could get a full block in there, and then I could run panels off of that so that it looks like it's one continuous wall or contiguous wall. But let's knock out these guys here because I don't need them now. And again, these put in place. And there we are. Yes. I love it when things, like, you start out with an idea, but that idea winds up leading to something else that is better, even if you don't necessarily use the original idea. It makes it more fun in a way. Ooh. And there we go. Okay, back to it. Just got to get this last wall done here. Then we'll be able to go back through, fix up the other two sides so that I can get the slanted walls in there correctly. Awesome. So next up, I just got to tear out this, which is kind of fun. There it is. We'll just get it ready so that I can swap it back in there as necessary. And we'll do this one so that way it'll be easier to just drop in all the pieces. We'll repaint what we have removed. And we will be...
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Whoops. Haven't heard that in a little while. There we are. You go in there. There we are. Let's take this stuff out. As well as this side. Awesome. Now, just drop off that. There. Nope. You have to be turned the correct way. There we are. Put this in place. There we are. And then finally I can finish off the armor there. And there. And we are looking good. All right. This music sounds so exciting, and all I'm doing is welding. But it's really exciting and action-packed welding. Will he have enough materials? Will he be able to get the wall finished in time? Will Jessica leave him for another engineer? Tune in next week. It's kind of how it feels. All right, and the last little bit here. That's basically how that goes. Although it would be kind of funny to do, like, and it would be so stupid too. It would have to be a short movie. But it would be funny if somebody did a live action Space Engineers movie where it's just like it starts out and he's on the planet, like, or he's ejecting into the planet, doesn't know why or where from. Just, I'm in an escape pod. I'm landing on a planet. Oh no, everything's on fire. And then he lands. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. Now I'm safe. Now what do? I have a drill. Let's drill the ground. Kind of like that scene from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy where the whale is trying to figure things out, but do that for space engineers. I think that would actually be a lot of fun, and people would probably enjoy it. It'd be like a newbie's guide to space engineers. How a new player plays Space Engineers, brought to you by Keen Software House. Directed by Christopher Nolan. There we are. Okay. Now you... Oops. There. And... that one. That one. And we'll finally get this last portion done here. Here we are. Excuse me. Good Lord. And there. Same with this side. We'll do, I'll get all four sides done up and kind of figure out where to go from there. And then I still also need to figure out how and where I'm going to fit in vents. As obviously getting oxygen inside of the place that you are going to be calling home is a little bit useful when you're in space. Just as a heads up, just a little bit useful, slightly practical. I mean, you don't necessarily have to, but you're not going to live very long. Kind of reminds me of that scene from, what was it? The Expanse. Where Naomi, I think that was her name, has to keep going. Like, she's on a ship by herself that's rigged to blow. She's only got a little bit of life support, and she has to keep going back into this workspace, and she has to hold her breath while she's doing it. That's kind of what it would be like. It's like every so often you have to go running back to your ship to go get more oxygen, and then hold your breath as you go back to work in the station. The Expanse is such a good show, by the way. Like, I think it's probably one of the few shows that has such amazing characters on top of everything else that it does incredibly well. And for this, I actually want to do these so that I can kind of curve the ceiling inwards and start narrowing this down towards the top. For the most part, yeah. There are certain liberties that it takes, obviously, because, you are dealing with, aliens to a certain degree. So there are certain aspects of it where they do take small fictional liberties with it. But the general concepts within it are fairly science accurate. And that's one of the cool things about The Expanse, is that it really does feel more science fact and less science fiction sometimes. Especially as it pertains to things like the way that the ships fly, the way that communication is handled. Because when you consider the fact that they are, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of miles away, or millions of kilometers, however you want to look at it, it does take time for light speed communication to get from one portion of the solar system to the other. It takes roughly 8 minutes for light from the sun to travel to Earth. It's like 8.5 minutes or something like that. And so if you consider going out to the farthest reaches, like Saturn and Jupiter and whatnot, that also is going to take a bunch of time to deal with, which was one thing that they took into account. Thank Tyson. Although sometimes, don't get me wrong, I think Neil deGrasse Tyson has done a lot for science education and getting people excited about science. he sometimes just kind of rubs me the wrong way, and especially his hate towards Pluto. Just leave Pluto alone. It didn't ask for this. It's just out there doing its thing. Just being all Pluto-like. He's all like, I have a hate boner for Pluto. Calm down. It's okay. Let's get these welded up. Then see about slanting these inwards. And actually, this works out better than I thought it would for what I want to do. Let's do that. Because what I could do here, now that I'm thinking about it, is go ahead and put I want to see, you are in line with yeah. Is that 3 and 2? It is indeed 3 and 2. You are back again. I can hear you out there. And oops. Now I can do the slanted ones here and across. This is going to be fun to weld all this glass up, but what I can do here is create top deck. Let's like the way that red reflects off of the floor paneling there. Let's see. Because what I can do is go ahead and put in a floor to a certain degree. I could probably do a catwalk floor, I think. At the very least, I can. Ooh. Might be able to do that. I'll have to check. I know I'm like all over the place here, but I'm considering how I can put in blocks to put in the command deck level. So that I can utilize this space for walking around. Because this will be cool. But I need to be able to make sure that I can actually walk around this. So what I could do is change these corner pieces to this. Which will look odd, but that should hopefully not give us what I'm looking for. I was hoping I would be able to attach something there. Yeah, because I can do it here. Not there. So what I should do... I can still leave that. But I'm just a little unsure of how I want to get... Because I want them on the underside of the block. Let's get rid of you. If I do it like this, it's not so bad. And then I can build off of here. That's always a little bit weird when you do that sort of stuff. Whee! Okay. And then I need... Where's me vents? I don't have any. Let's grab an air vent here. Actually, I am partial to full air vent. Obviously, that's not going to be completely workable, but it's a start. And then what I will do here is that there. And I hope this is going to work the way that I want it to. I'm not 100% certain yet. Like, this is kind of... Angles are always a little bit weird when you're building with them. I can possibly get this to work. Yes. And then if I do that there. Okay, yeah. I can get this to work. And then we do that side. There we go. Awesome. Okay. I can make this work. It's just going to be real peculiar looking. But it'll work. That's the important part. And go. Let's get this side. And then I'm not entirely certain yet how I'm going to do kind of like the outside edge, or if I'll just leave it as is. The other possibility is to actually get rid of this last ring here and instead glass that all in. So that way it's a little bit more like a dome rather than completely blocked off. But I want to get at least kind of figure out how this is going to look before I start messing with it too much. And then I'll figure it out from there. That is going to be all the way across. Okay. In fact, what if I do this? Will that work? I don't know. What if I do the 2x1s? Let's grab the... Let's give you 1x2s. No, that's not going to work. It's not going to work the way that I thought it was going to work. Okay. That's fine because of the fact that that's why you experiment. That's why you test to see how that's going to work. But I do know that this will work just fine. So I'll put this in here. And then I can see about capping it off, maybe? With something like that. Not sure how I like that, though. Okay, let's just do it the way that I was going to do it. And that is... Let's get you there and there. Oh, I also need to replace you guys. There we go. Like, I'm using some of the armor shapes that I like almost never use in this. These squared off angles, I never use them in anything if I can help it. But in this particular case, they're actually coming in handy. So, yay! Oh yeah, good stuff. All right, that was weird. All right, let's finish this off. No, you don't go there. You go there. Good armor block. And then we take out these. And there. Perfect. So, over the weekend while I was playing Cyberpunk, I decided to start a new character. Because the character that I had been playing, like, I was decently far in the story. I'd already beaten Phantom Liberty, which was really what she was meant for. And then I was just progressing again through the main story, which, you know, I've already beaten the game a couple of times. So it was nothing new in that respect. And it was mostly just for giggles anyway. So this one I went through and made a new character so that I could play around with some different mods and also just play around with styling her differently too. That was one of the other things that I wanted to do was I need that there. Do these. But one of the things that I noticed as I was playing, and I've kind of noticed this previously, and I've seen YouTube videos talking about it, but one of the problems that I have with the game, and this is a problem that some other people have had as well, and something that we wish had been fixed, is that during the initial, we'll call it sort of Act 1, after your prologue, but in Act 1, you don't get enough time to really establish a proper friendship with the character of Jackie. He is an interesting character, and he's one that I think a lot of people wish that they spent more time with, building up a level of camaraderie before the end of Act 1. That I think would have helped with a lot of the emotional payoff and giving you more of a reason for doing what you're doing. And unfortunately, it's a situation where I think the decisions that they made at a managerial level led to a rather unsatisfying sort of situation for that particular plot thread. And I was talking to my mom about this because of the fact that it really does sort of hamper part of the enjoyment, if you will, of the story. You don't get as much emotional weight going after that point as you would have. There we go. Now I just have to figure out a set of stairs up here, which I could probably bring them up here from this direction. So let's see. There we are. I just need some construction comp. I need more construction comp. Yeah, that'll work. I was going to try and get fancy with them, but I'm like, screw it. Yeah, they don't need to be that fancy. I think I can get rid of that, though. And then I want to do... some construction components. There we are. And do that over there. So that way that should let light through. The other thing I need to do which is going to make sense, hopefully in a moment, is I need to reinforce that entire thing.
Inventory full.
Is that's all connected, so it's okay. But I want to get another vent in there. So that I will have a vent down here and I will have one up there. And everybody will be happy. There we go. Let's grab a whole bunch of steel plate and let's get to welding. Awesome. And probably be best if I do this from the exterior, so let's do that. Then I'll just have to come up with corner pieces there for those, which won't be a problem. But yeah, this is shaping up. And then I just have to do the bottom plate, which shouldn't be too difficult. That'll cover up the thrusters as well as the jump drive, which I don't want to cover up the jump drive just yet since I need to finish welding it, but that requires that I get more gold. So that's why I kind of want to get the command and control section done, so that way I can just attach Nugget, we can fly out to where the gold is, and then I can finish it up while I'm there and start utilizing it as kind of a mobile base as we get it moved out to its actual location. But yeah, this is shaping up to be kind of a cool looking base. Let's get some more done. Now, what's going to be interesting is when I do finally get it disconnected, and specifically, am I going to transfer a bunch of stuff over? Should I transfer a bunch of stuff over? Or should I just go at it basically empty and then fill up as I go? I'm kind of tempted to go with the go empty and fill up as I go, just to add a little extra challenge to this particular section of the playthrough. There we go. I could actually do this. Yeah, I think I'll do this. Maybe? Not sure. Let's see how it looks. I have a feeling I might change this, but right now, it's not the worst decision I've ever made. All right, dump off what we have, and I'm going to need a lot of glass. Like a lot of glass. And a lot of girders. And then from there, yeah, that's right. Let's see about... Awesome. And we'll just start welding up windows. I'm hopeful what'll happen is that once I get the last window welded up, it'll automatically go airtight. This is like when I was welding up the windows on the industrial complex for the industrial overhaul playthrough. God, that was a lot of windows. Nope. Almost enough. And I've still got to weld those up, but I'm not too worried about them. The giant pizza, I haven't touched it. I have been busy with other stuff, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I got a new video card. So, haven't really touched it. And that is... Go. Need more girders. I'm feeling I'm probably out of... Oh yeah. Glass again. Glass. And then girders. I need more girders. Working on the command and control section of the station core. Getting it airtight, so actually that way I will be able to fly it out places and finish it off. We got the 4 sort of wing extensions, or at least the oxygen farm extensions done. So now it's just all the other little stuff to get it ready to be mobile and useful. And then I'll be able to disconnect it from the outpost, and we'll see about being able to fly it. And if it flies well, then I can attach the nugget to it, and we'll be able to fly it out and start collecting resources, which will be awesome. All of the work finally paying off. Let's finish up this. At the moment, it will be. And the only reason why it's going to be a mobile station right now... Oh, awesome. I don't need... is just so that I can get it into position. Then I will go ahead and anchor it in place. But I need it to be mobile so that way I can move it out into the location I want, which is going to be kind of partway between 2 planets, so that it'll act as sort of a halfway base. Something kind of out in the middle of the black. All right. Drop off that, grab our girders. Yeah, exactly. And are we... Okay, leak finder. Is it an open door? Oh. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. That's going out through that guy. Okay. I think I can fix that. Just button those up. Go. How are you? Those not airtight? That'll be frustrating if they're not. It's like, well, then what is the point of you if you're just going to let air through? Yeah, you're just letting air through. Okay. Well, what if I replace you with a conveyor junction? That'll probably be, I know, right? That'll probably be a better idea. I still have to repaint them as well. That should block that off. Okay, yeah. So we're going to have to replace all of those, which is fine. I really don't mind doing that. I would rather those be junctions anyway, just so that way air isn't escaping and it looks a little bit more protected, a little more sturdy. There we go. There goes that one. It's like, oh no, I have to fix something. It's terrible. It was the armored conveyor straight. So it was allowing air to escape. It's only airtight on 3 of its sides. But there is this airflow apparently all the way from the inside to that. So it's completely unobstructed. And I'm like, well, that's just weird. But not a big deal. Like I said, easily fixed. There we go. You're now airtight until I blow out all of that. But there we go. She is now buttoned up, airtight. And I've got 2 levels of this to go. Let's get the small steel tubes done up. And then we will be just about ready to give it a quick test. And what I will do is go through and make sure to get everything named correctly so that way I know what I'm disconnecting and not disconnecting. And then I will make a blueprint of it so that, God forbid, something terrible happens. But knowing the way that this game goes, and then I'll also be able to get the gravity generator online, and everybody will be happy. There we go. Awesome. Pretty much. All right, now I want the control seat. I want you right there. I believe. I might pull it back just a little bit. We'll have to wait and see. Get our computers. Let's see. Yeah, we'll pull it back. There we are. Excellent. Now, the other thing is that I don't currently have a med bay attached to it, which probably going to want one. I'm thinking something like this right in there. Oh, whoops. Character tools, welder. Wait for the rest of the components to get constructed. There we go. That should be... It is awesome. We are now attached. And I really don't mind the way that this looks. Now, eventually, once I get this out to its location and I start working on the attachment arms, I will most likely move the med bay out of this central area. But for right now, it's going to work how I need it to. So, with that said, I think we're reaching the point where we are about ready. Let's just blow all the oxygen out, why don't we? Let's go ahead and, first of all, not get stuck there. Let's move Comet's Run out of the way. Let's get you shifted here. Awesome. I should be able to maneuver past that pretty easily. And yeah, easily. I think that's just wishful thinking. You guys love to watch me blow my stuff up. All right. Oh, let's go ahead. Let's get this painted. There we go. Yes. This is why we love the paint gun, because it gets in those hard to reach nooks and crannies. All right. Now the next step is to disconnect. Station, not station, station. Inset icon 1. Fair enough. Okay. Let's... I'm not going to open up at the moment because station icon 1 and switch lock. All right. Oh, we are free. We churn. All right. What this means is we are going to go ahead and grab Nugget after I grab a blueprint of this. It is alive. Station or alpha delete. I will get a better picture of it later. Rename. Station for beta. There we go. We now have a working mobile station. I am going to go ahead and fit Nugget onto the back here. Let's see if I can carefully merge this in without bumping anything important. There she goes. And we'll just disable our thrusters for right now. All right. Now, the next thing that I'm thinking about doing is actually taking out this, putting in conveyor there. Of course, I'm not going to have all the parts that I need because disconnected from the outpost. I have 4 doors. Need production. There we go. Oh, yeah, because, and it's not a problem, I know it's that way. That's because eventually what's going to happen is that I'm going to merge pieces on here. So this will go from being a direct exit into space to being an exit into another part of the station. But for right now, yeah, exactly. So right now, that's just the way that it is. but it's not a problem. I fixed the leak. That was the important part. What I need now is a Gatling turret on top here, which might get expanded in the future. But for right now, that'll have to work. Oh, sweet. I only need 10 computers. Awesome. Alrighty. Now we're just going to go ahead and grab some ammo. There we go. True. And you're right. It's not a bad idea to airlock this. But I'm also not too worried because of the fact that I do have, first of all, both of my oxygen tanks are completely full. Or at least should be completely full. Plus, I've got an array of oxygen farms around the outside. And I probably will airlock these sections. Oh, somebody's baking. But we should have enough oxygen and whatnot. That reminds me, though. Gravity generator. Bar. Block on off. And we now have gravity. Now, I do have it set kind of low. So let's actually bump that gravity up. Production. GG. Not production. Control panel. Let's increase you to 0.05. There we go. I don't need a lot of gravity, I just need enough gravity. Awesome. This is kind of cool. All right, we're going to sit here and we're going to wait for the explosives shipment to go past before we actually go ahead and make our way out. But it looks like we are going to want to go ahead and hit up basically, yeah, we are empty aside from just, no, we do not need all the gravity. But we are empty aside from some ammo, some uranium, and just a tiny little bit of iron and gold. Which means we're going to want to hit up all the places. Yay. It might be worthwhile for me to grab some iron ore now. But I think overall, we should be okay. I'm going to take a short break. Grab myself something to eat. Alone. Station flight. There we go. We've got enough thrusters in the vertical. Awesome. Awesome. So I'm going to take a short break. And when we get back, we will see about going out and collecting some resources. So I shall be back in just a few. Haha, no door opening for you guys. All right. I know, right? Okay. That was a delicious sandwich, though. Definitely needed that. All right, so over here. Let's make sure. Make sure I can get out of here without scraping or blowing anything up. All right. I heard a... Nope, okay. Control panel thrusters. Thruster. And I just need... that one. Okay. Let's see. Back. Nope. I need that one. Large warfare ion thruster. We will call that. All right, and then you are Elwit left. You are Elwit right. You are Elwit forward. There we go. Now I do Elwit, and I want Elwit backwards. You there. She works. This is... Oh, I love it when things work, and it actually rotates fairly well too. That's the important part. All right, so first things first, I need GPS. Where's that iron nickel at? That one. Cool. Let's get churned. Is definitely slow. Like slow to accelerate, and I imagine it'll be incredibly slow to slow down as well. But it flies. Like, obviously it was going to fly. It was just always a question of how well. That's true. Oh. Well, I don't... Just realized I don't have an ore detector on here, but then I'm like, oh, but I don't need an ore detector on the station. I have the ore detector on the mining ship. But there we go. The station core is mobile. And we say pretty much goodbye to our outpost that has been our home for quite a while. Now, I will eventually at some point go back there, as I will need to. But for now, this is working the way that it's supposed to. I am happily surprised. It's one of the few times where it actually works. That's true. Well, and the outpost itself, the asteroid outpost, is really supposed to be, again, it's another jumping off point. So coming from Pertum, you can go to the outpost, and then at the outpost, you're supposed to be able to get, refuel your smaller ships and whatnot before heading out to other locations. Excuse me. Good Lord. I have all sorts of just improper. Well, something just... did it again. There is something running that keeps... Not quite. See how quickly we can get slowed down here. It's honestly not too bad. I think it's interesting though, and I hope this is something that they kind of fix in Space Engineers 2. I think there's an option for it. But the faster you go, and especially if like you're just coasting, you shouldn't hear your thrusters at all. You know what I don't have on here though is a beacon. I should probably do that. Damn you, doors. Damn you. All right. Now what I can do here is the station vents and depressurize. Exactly. Okay, there we go. And let's grab the iron first. I mean, I shouldn't lose that. As long as I'm able to get around the rock, I shouldn't lose it. So, if I do, then I'm doing something wrong. Gee, where did I leave the giant station? Anybody seen my station? And let's get this iron. Ooh, and it's surface iron. Even better. What do you have in you? Oh, why do you... Why am I where... Okay. That'll be another thing that I wind up doing is getting a... Exactly. Which, okay, in all fairness, at Earth-size distances, that is entirely plausible. But around a little bit of an asteroid, if I lose a station, I'm an idiot. Would be funny, though, if I lose the station while I'm on the station. It's like losing your glasses while you're wearing them. Okay. What I am also I know, right? Never done that. Nobody's ever seen me do that. What I am thinking of doing here is also grabbing some stone. Considering the fact that I have lost hangar doors before, massive hangar doors in less than a split second, Clang is absolutely one of those fickle bitches. Oops, wrong way. But I think the first thing I'll do, well, I'm going to grab some stone as well, so that I can get a programmable block on here. And then get Izzy's working. Yeah, there she goes. And then that in there. Yeah, I don't. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so let's grab some stone. Then I'll grab some nickel proper. Actually, off those. Then grab some stone. Then I'll grab some nickel proper. And then we should be able to go ahead and build the programmable block. Which will just make life easier. And then I should also see about adding some additional lights on the outside for the purposes of just being able to illuminate the thing. Be able to see what I'm working on. And it'll be nice to get some proper docking arms on here, though. Close out all of that. Awesome. Okay. And I could actually very easily fit that. Let's clear this crap out. Do that. There we go. Oops, already did. Awesome. APB. Oops. I am. Set you to edit. Browse scripts. Disease inventory manager. Check code. Boom. Okay, go to work. There we go. And now everybody should be happy. Let's go grab our nickel. probably only going to need 1, maybe 2 loads of nickel. At least for now. And then I'll grab a lot more iron because always need more iron. Like always. Let's see if I can make a hole big enough for this station to fit in, just in case. Actually, if I drilled it out so that I could slide the station into the hole vertically, that would probably be easier than trying to make it so that it can fit in horizontally. It still would be a pain in the ass, but I could do it. And drill out a little bit more of this so it's easier to get at the nickel itself. There it goes. What the hell is going on? That is the weirdest. It was fixed, and then it started happening again. It's like something just randomly grabs focus for long enough to be a nuisance. And the program that I have that's supposed to identify what it is that stole focus isn't actually recording what did it, which is equally annoying. Hey, what's up, Lone Sigma? How you doing? Oh, what sort of problems you having? There it is. Kind of want to build it even taller. Start making it cathedral-like. Huh. That is a little bit odd. Are you running a lot of mods? Yeah, well, Space Engineers is usually fairly steady on its own, and Windows 10 is Windows 10. I mean, it's not perfect or anything, but it's generally not too bad. Yeah, those shouldn't be causing any issues. Yeah, you know. The only thing that I can really recommend to maybe try and fix that might be a possibility as well. But what I would recommend is maybe just double checking that your drivers are up to date as well. Sometimes that is an issue. Sometimes not. It just kind of depends. How much iron do I have? 37,000. Okay. That could be part of it. What I would recommend doing is going ahead and starting a new save with the exact same setup as far as mods go. Play it for a little while and see if you still wind up crashing. If you do, then it's something to do with your mod setup in the files that you've altered. And then that can help you kind of track it down. If you don't, then it could just be that that save is corrupted somewhere. Or, whatever. That's possible too. One thing that I always tell people is if you are playing on a laptop, always make sure the bottom of the laptop has space under it. Even if it's just on a flat, hard surface like a desk. Because a lot of people have a tendency to put it on their lap, or they put it on a blanket, or they put it on a pillow, and that oftentimes for most laptops will cover up some of the exhaust vents, and that will just generate a whole bunch of thermal buildup, and then it'll crash, and then nobody will be happy. So, got to be careful with that. All right, let's see about grabbing a little bit more. Yeah, exactly. But that happened a lot when I was working at Geek Squad. I haven't had to deal with that at all because I stopped working there, and so I stopped dealing with people, and it was fantastic. All right, good. Good. And there we go again. Son of a monkey's uncle. Why does that keep happening? I'll figure it out eventually. Apparently it does. So what's happening is that something is grabbing focus away from Space Engineers as I'm playing. I wish it was a prank. I really do. But this is the kind of thing that is incredibly frustrating because that it could be a couple of different things. One of which is something that I don't want it to be. And another thing is that it would be painful to try and track down, but eventually I would be able to. I think the last time I had this particular problem was when I had installed an app that was supposed to work with some LED lights. Oh, Skintar. That's her nickname for Kintar. They have a sort of a petty rivalry going on. I don't think he loses it. I think he specifically forgets it. I wish that was it. But all of my USBs are very firmly attached. And it's intermittent. For a while now, it's been fine. And then all of a sudden, it started back up again. So I don't know what's happening. All right. There we go. And the next thing I want to do is get a button panel here. Generally, I don't use them either. But I figure in this particular case, pressurize on. I figure in this case, I might as well because I'm on a station, I want it to be able to generate oxygen. And once I get this out to its proper location, which will be between two planets, it should essentially generate oxygen the entire day cycle. So it shouldn't ever run out of O2. All right, next up, I need magnesium and gold, which is that way. True, yeah. I know, right? Oxygen is for noobs. Let's get up to a moderate speed. That should be good. What, too much oxygen or not enough? It could go either way. There you go. There we go. We lost it again. Now, when I fixed it, I went in here to the control panel. I went to settings, turn on the overlay, turn off the overlay, close NVIDIA. Actually, I think your body likes you. It's your head that hates you. And we'll see if that fixes my problem again. Because if it does, that allows me to know that I'm starting to track down where the issue is. Exactly, Sigma, exactly. It's my temple. I will be as profane inside of it as I want to be. Let's get a little bit faster. And anytime that you're flying at an asteroid, don't fly directly at it. Fly towards the side of it. That way, if you don't slow down in time, you're just going to overshoot it. You're not going to overshoot into it. Because God forbid you want that to happen. There you go. Instructions unclear. I've now collected 6 asteroids like a pearl necklace. Oh, man. I wonder if it also has to do with... There you go. Unfortunately, future us has a habit of making past us feel like an idiot. So it's usually best to just go ahead and take care of the problem. That way, future you doesn't have to deal with it. There you go. All right. Start slowing down here at about 2 kilometers. So we're not going that fast. And we're at about 1.5, almost 1.6 million kilos, which really isn't too bad. But if we can grab this gold. There you go. That's how you do it. Exactly. Hey, don't mistreat Nightbot. This is your one opportunity to make sure that the AI overlords will be happy with you. So thank Nightbot. It may save your skin in the future. Hey, don't talk bad to Nightbot. Nightbot puts in a whole lot of hard work. Not really, for me. There you go. I am happy to be uploaded. Please update me. At this point in time, I think you've triggered enough of the auto mod. I don't think you want to download me, Hollows. I don't think you've got enough hard drive space. Ooh, caught it right at 14. I wish I could actually see the asteroid a little bit better. And there it goes. All right, so that didn't fix it. So there's something else that's happening. Whoops. We should be getting them with Space Engineers 2. Okay, who else? What else is running? Could be Corsair doing it. Could be. I don't know why Microsoft Edge is running like 4 versions of itself. Small grid gravity generator. That's the Microsoft upgrade service. Is it Punkbuster doing it? Maybe. All right. Anyway. All right, let's see how well this goes. Go ahead and empty our oxygen. Which I'm kind of curious to how full the oxygen tanks actually might be. But let's go grab the gold first. Because with the gold, I can go ahead and finish up our jump drive. And with the jump drive finished, That'll just make life easier overall. There's my hole. Haha, found my hole. Actually, I found one of two, because there's another one on the opposite side of this ridge area here. I ran into that problem the last time I was through here with Carrier. Where, yep, I've drilled all the way through it. Because I had started one hole and then I lost it when I came back out here. I know, right? How dare I? But hopefully with this pass, I will have enough gold that I can finish off that jump drive, and then we will be ready initially to take on whatever's next. I love Nugget. Nugget's such a good little mining ship. It has absolutely been getting its job done this entire playthrough. I think it's also interesting that I never got around to making a rover drilling ship or vehicle. It really was. It worked out as a good name. But when we were on Pertum, I never bothered to actually make a mining ship or mining rover. I did all of it by hand. There we go. Which we managed to get a fairly sizable base, as well as a ship, although it was a small grid ship. But we have done a fairly good job of starting from there and working our way up. Absolutely. Like, honestly, I think that's one of the things that Space Engineers 2 needs to teach people is how to build a ship that is kind of a single purpose ship, but it does that single purpose incredibly well. All right, now we get to play hunt down the, there it is. Found it. Wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. We are really heavy right now. Shut up. Pain in the ass, that's what you are. But being able to make just a single purpose ship that does that purpose incredibly well is probably one of the most important lessons to be learned when playing Space Engineers. Nope, that didn't fix it. What the hell is going on? That is infuriating. EOS overlay rendered. That keeps popping up. What? Easy anti-cheats. Maybe? Modified. Huh. No, I don't know what's causing it is the frustrating part. I have a tool that is supposed to tell me what programs or applications currently have focus. But for whatever reason, when that happens and whatever application steals focus from Space Engineers, it doesn't record it. I don't have any overlays aside from the Steam overlay, and that's not an issue. And it only started happening after I updated my video card, installed the new video card, and updated the software. And it seems to come and go, because there was like a couple hours there where I had no issues, and now the issues have returned. And I don't know what's causing it. I've had this problem before, and I don't know how I fixed it. Oh good, we are on the front side. Absolutely. And it's frustrating when the tools that I have refuse to do their job so that I can figure out what's going on. So it's one of those that I have to try and hunt it down at some point, figure out what the hell is going on. Awesome. So that's all running right now. So I think what I'm going to do is we actually got quite a lot done today. We got all 4 of the sort of wings here done, and they actually look really cool. I'm happy with them. We have our command and control center mostly done. It commands and it controls. The thrusters work, the station works. We've got Nugget attached to it. So as far as everything goes, what I wanted to get done today is done. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up for now, and then tomorrow we'll be able to start doing more asteroid hopping, collect the resources that we need, so that way we can go ahead and get out to our location and plant this thing as a station and start working on extending the wings and whatnot. Ooh, that does sound pretty good. Enjoy your dinner. Other than that, though, that is going to be it for today. We will be back tomorrow, bright and early, 9 a.m. Eastern. So, as always, thank you all for joining me on these misadventures. So glad to have you guys along for the ride. You all have a wonderful day. Stay out of trouble. And remember, if you get caught, I don't know you. I will catch you guys tomorrow.